So let me just introduce our panel. We have Dr. Fadhil Hasan from GAPKI. He takes care of the foreign affairs, and he was earlier the executive director as well. And then we have the lovely lady next to me, Madam Madam Izana Saleh. She's the Secretary General of CPOC. This is a new term I've learned. We used to call it CPOPC. CPOC is essentially the organization of palm oil producing countries in the world. They will now be making small presentations, and then after that, we'll have the question and answer session. First, Madam, why don't you take, and you have only 5-7 minutes to say. Mike.
Thank you. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Atul has nicely advised me that I have 5 minutes. I'll try and keep it a little bit under. So I know this is the session after lunch, which is honestly the most challenging. So allow me to breeze through. My name is Izana Saleh. I'm the Secretary General at the Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries, or very affectionately known as CPOPC. I'm sure some of you know us, and I hope that by the end of this session, most of you will know us. A little bit about us. We are an intergovernmental organization, and we represent the producing countries Malaysia, Indonesia, Honduras, Papua New Guinea, as well as Democratic Republic of Congo. We've got observer countries, Ghana, Nigeria, as well as Colombia, and we welcome more member countries. And the reason why the IGO is important is because we represent a collective voice for the producers ourselves. And so allow me today to breeze through a very short but pointed presentation on palm oil in the global markets, addressing the challenges and delivering what solutions that we can. Next slide, please. So today, very quickly, we'll outline some of these items. Initially, when I came, I had a very different presentation, but when I listened to what was presented at the APWA and CAGM, I had a look at the exhibition here today. We changed our conversation to really address the audience and the crowd. And what we'd like to highlight is mainly, Mr. Atul, the importance of India as a consumer. Next slide, please. Now, the reason why India matters most in the future of palm oil, and I think not only the fact that so many of us in the industry are here, and the fact that the minister had said all the declarations he made during his speech, is that India matters most in the future of palm oil. You are a very important partner for the producers, all the producers that we represent and don't represent. Because the future of oils is not only about supply and a demand conversation. It really is about a focus on stability, on sustainability, and importantly, about affordability. And the fact that we have these overlapping values, it really should encourage producers and consumers to work together. Next slide, please. So the fact is that the producers and consumers are really linked by one market. Indonesia and Malaysia, we supply about 81.9% of global palm oil. And in India, right after Indonesia, consumes nearly 12% of global demand. And really the story that we're telling here is that our respective markets, your main producers of palm oil, as well as the country that we are in today, is that our markets are deeply interconnected. And therefore, any shift in production really has a direct impact on the Indian household as well as industries. And so earlier we said the interdependence is about shared concerns and shared solutions. That's the important part here. Next slide, please. Now, producers face yield stagnation. We've spoken about this. We're having these conversations out in the corridors. But these are our shared challenges, which also then become our shared priority, which is to ensure supply. Palm oil productivity, as you know, I'm preaching to the choir here, it's been declining since 2010 for the reasons I mentioned earlier. And India is feeling the impact, price volatility, supply uncertainty. And so the shared priority that we have here is a stable supply and ensuring that we have a fair pricing. Next slide, please. The minister so eloquently stated earlier that palm oil's efficiency is absolutely unmatched. Regardless what is happening in the industry, you cannot deny the data and the fact that in order for you to produce 1 ton of palm oil in comparison with other VOs, you need the least amount of land, which is 0.26. And if you look at the chart here, which is from IUCN, and you compare against other oils, it's unmatched. The rest are between 1.25 to 2 hectares, whereas palm oil boasts a very high efficiency at only 0.26 hectares. And so this is critical for food security in general, but also affordability for all our consumers at home. Higher land productivity means less land is needed, and yet you get more oil. And so this ensures affordable access of oils to Indian consumers. Next slide, please. And as we know, we've got so many booths out here. I think right outside our door is RSPO, but these are standards that safeguard your buyers. We've got Malaysian sustainable palm oil, Indonesian sustainable palm oil, as well as RSPO. And these are not just the producing country's commitments, but really they are a shield for your buyers. What it does is that it ensures that palm oil meets the legal, environmental, and social standards that we should expect for our people. And so India's support helps to avoid duplicative requirements. And so what it does is that it makes sure that we stand together and strengthen fair trade as well as market access. Next slide. And so what we hope to do at Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries, as the bridge, as the voice, we want to ensure that we keep palm oil affordable to support global and especially India's food security needs. We want to promote awareness of palm oil in healthy, balanced diet. There's already so much data out there. And we want to ensure that together, all of us here, because of the need of ensuring the future generation is food secure, we must counter misinformation with science-backed communication. And today, right now, I implore all of you here, please work together with us at the Council to help clear up the misinformation. We have data to support, but we can't do this alone. And so I seek partners. In this hall, please come to us. And how can we do this together? We recognize that palm oil is in fact sustainable, backed by ISPO, MSPO, and RSPO certification standards. These are indisputable. Next slide. I'll cut this short because I see the timing there, but we put our money where our mouth is, I guess. And yesterday we signed a partnership, an MOU with APWA, Solidaridad, as well as C, so that we can make sure that we align this conversation and that we come in strong for the Indian market. So, Mr. Atul, I'm really looking forward to this with you. Next slide, please. And so as a shared path forward, in short, what I like to say is that India and the producing countries are not on different sides of the table. We are, in fact, partners. Palm oil is central to India's food security and affordability, and India is central to palm oil stability and sustainability. I think that's a really important relationship we must establish. And so our collaboration can set the tone for a fair, inclusive, and resilient global vegetable oil market. Next slide, please. A quick pitch here. CPOPC, one of our products is the Sustainable Vegetable Oils Conference. We are doing our next one in China in 2026. And like I seek partners to combat misinformation, I seek partners for the SVOC as well. And if you are interested, please do let us know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before I let you go, one small little question. Palm oil in India is losing ground from a level of about 65% of the oil imported into the country. Now it has dropped down to about 50%. 50% is palm and the balance is soft oil. How do you think, is it sending wrong signals to the palm producing countries to do something to ensure that the original spread is maintained? Your take.
Thank you, Mr. Atul. I believe that if you look at data over the years, there is a cycle to things. numbers will drop, eventually numbers go up again. It's a price conversation that happens. And as mentioned, there's, in terms of production, we are dealing with some yield stagnation, some replanting issues, and that's being addressed by producing countries. Unfortunately, we're in the industry where things take time, and so we must give it time. But what you see, 50% is still a very large amount. It is still a bulk of your food security. And so if we hang in there together, it's about a partnership. It's not about ditching each other when time calls for it. And so if we hold hands and go through this time period, the numbers will come up again. And I hope to do that with you, Mr. Atul.
No, point taken. Dr. Fadhil, do you have a presentation or we can have a question answer session? A short one? Yeah.
That is a wonderful round of applause. Yes.
I think because of the time, I just want to, no need to have video. Okay, thank you very much. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the committee for inviting us again to participate in this very important seminar. I flew from Jakarta to Mumbai for 6 hours, and then I just have given opportunity to talk about 6 minutes. So I thought it's not fair, I think. So that's why I would like to very brief in my presentation here. My topic is about the transformation of palm oil industry in Indonesia. As you know that Indonesia palm oil industry experienced a transformation significantly in the last 2 decades from the industry that focused on generating income, creating growth, to the industry that balancing the economic, social, and environment, and also to the industry that inclusive, responsible, and sustainable. So, and one of the element important of this transformation in the palm oil industry is tooling this industry to the energy transition in order to contribute to the climate and the biodiversity imperatives. This palm oil is going to be fit with the commitment of Indonesia in reducing the greenhouse emission to net zero emission in 2060. Therefore, starting in 2009, Indonesia implement a biofuel mandatory program. As of now, the blending of biofuel is at the 40% or B40, and in addition to this, this program also aims at reducing our reliance on import of fossil fuel, which grow time to time. However, we realize that this program will affect the global palm oil market. Since as domestic palm oil increase, our supply for global market might decline, especially in the mid of the stagnation in the production. This in turn will also impact the price of palm oil and vegetable oil as a whole. In the light of this situation, government and industry has committed to increase production through various programs, namely replanting program, rehabilitation of plantation, and better good agricultural practices, especially at the smallholder farmers. As you know, that 40% of the national palm oil output in Indonesia come from smallholders farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, the transformation of Indonesia palm oil industry is ongoing. Challenge remain balancing economic growth, environment preservation, and it's not an easy one. Yet our progress demonstrates that palm oil can be produced responsibly and that it contributes to the solving global challenge. So why then the production increase is very important? Because we believe that the world needs additional palm oil, and palm oil provides better and more efficient vegetable oil compared to the other vegetable oil, as mentioned by the Ministry of Plantation, Malaysia Ministry of Plantation before. Now, as I mentioned before that our biofuel
Can
mandatory
you be a
program.
little fast? Because
Yes,
the time.
our mandatory bio program may affect global palm oil market, including vegetable oil industry in India. India is the second largest Indonesian palm oil market, but I think in the last 2 years, our export to India is declining. In 2024, declining by almost 28%, and in January to July 2025, also declining by around 19%. So I think one of the factor that caused this declining is the price of palm oil, which is higher than other vegetable oil, and also because of the other variables. But I would like to assure that whatever the biofuel policy we will adopt in the future, Indonesia will always provide enough supply to the Indian market at the competitive prices. So that's what my presentation is. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Now we have maybe a couple of minutes for asking a few questions. The first question is, with the world becoming much more inward-looking and with WTO practically dying or maybe dead already, are there any plans for having FTAs with India, between Indonesia and India, and between Malaysia and India?
I think we welcome that initiative. As far as I know, also I think we are in the discussion between our government to have sort of like PTA or maybe even FTA, preferential tariff agreement or free trade agreement. I think with that, we hope also to strengthen our relations, not only on trade, but also beyond the trade, so investment, research and development, and so on and so forth. I think we have...
It's work in progress.
Yeah, work in progress, but I think it takes time. We have already PTA with the Pakistan, so I think it's good if India also having one with us.
Secondly, do you think 50% blending is going to become a reality next year, or there are some question marks around that?
We don't know. That's what the government to decide. But what we can inform you is that if B50 is implemented, then we need additional investment, additional production of biofuel, and also we have to improve our infrastructure so that the program can be run smoothly, So, and then also there are other things that I think we have to consider if the government would like to implement B50. So for now, I think it's safe to say that we are happy with B40. This is good already. Already we have the highest blending in the world.
So we need to keep our fingers crossed.
Pardon?
We need to keep our fingers crossed. Whether it will happen or not.
Yeah, but we don't know what is the government decision.
One more question, and just a simple answer. What is the current POGO? How much is the spread?
Oh, yeah. Actually, now it's around, I believe it's around between 5,000 to 6,000 rupiah, Indonesian rupiah. So that's the POGO, yeah.
So that is the big pain point.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Now this question is to Ma'am Saleh. There have been a lot of negativity around palm in this part of the world. As Secretary General of CPOC, what efforts are you planning to ensure that this negativity is removed or reduced?
Thank you so much. At CPOPSI, we're really focused on countering misinformation because, as mentioned earlier, there's a lot of data that supports the health benefits, that supports the environmental efficiency. However, perhaps where we are not, as producers, where we're not strong in is about the storytelling, the marketing. Probably because we're so focused on the business of producing and feeding the mouth, the economic imperative, the job creation, ensuring smallholders are meeting sustainable goals, and perhaps the storytelling hasn't been a strong suit. But just because storytelling hasn't been a strong suit, that does not mean that the data is incorrect, that does not mean that on the ground it's what is being pictured. Not a perfect industry, but I dare say that no industry is perfect. And in fact, over the last over 10 years, there's been great improvement that no one's talking about in terms of deforestation.
I think our MOU, which we've signed recently,
Yesterday.
that should
Yes.
come handy in.
That is a
changing the
foundation,
narrative.
and we must hold hands together between APWA, Solidaridad, and also CPOPSI. We must hold hands together to counter misinformation out there.
Thank you very much. That was an interesting session, but I'm terribly sorry we had to shorten it for with that.
This is also a very efficient session. Thank you very much.
To keep it more or less in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, distinguished gentlemen and ma'am. And now I take the pleasure inviting, I request you to stay back on stage, but right up here in front, I invite Ms. Kasia Singh, Director TEFLAS, to kindly join us up on stage, and Mr. Romy Furtado will escort her here. And I invite Kasia to kindly felicitate our speakers with tokens of love and appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you all to kindly join in with a nice warm round of applause, please. So firstly, to Ma'am Izana Saleh, thank you so very much, ma'am, for all your inputs. To Dr. Fadhil Hasan, thank you so very much, sir, for your insights. And finally, to our session's chair, to Mr. Atul Chaturvedi, thank you so very much, sir. And Kasia, I invite you to join in for a group photograph, please, along with Mr. Romy Furtado. Mr. Romy Furtado, as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, needs no introduction to everybody here at Globoil. And thank you so very much, ma'am and gentlemen, for all your insights and the conversations that we were all privy to.